Let's start with a squat, breathing in and out. And one more. Good, and we'll do some arm circles forward. We'll get bigger as we go. And same thing backwards. Getting bigger as we go. And we'll do some side bends. And we'll also do some toe touches. So arms out in a T, and we'll reach down. And then we'll alternate between those two things. So we'll go side, side, toe, toe, side, side, toe, toe. Feel free to change up your order, keep your body guessing, right or left. And we'll do one more of each. Side, side, toe, toe. And then we'll open up our hips. So we'll go back and forward with the same leg a couple times. And then we'll switch legs. One more time. And we'll do some leg swings. So if you want to grab a wall to hang on to, start with the bent leg first. Just going back and forward. And then as you go, you can turn that into a straight leg. All right, and same thing with our other leg. So swings forward, starting with the bent leg. Trying not to arch your back as you do this. Then we'll turn it into straight leg swings. Good, and then we'll do a couple of reverse lunges with a Y raise or a W pull, whatever you're feeling this morning. Don't have to step too far back with your lunge. Let's do one more on each side. And then we'll do some inchworms. So we'll go walk our hands out. Once we're in a plank, we'll bring up our right foot, twist to the right, down, twist to the left, and down. And then we'll walk back up, and we'll do that 5 times. So that's one. And go at your own pace. Holding your plank for a second, at the top, the bottom, or at the beginning and the end of this. And on 3. And there's no rush, so take your time. If you're just waking up, maybe your body's still, a little bit stiff. All right, and this is my last one. And when you're done your last one, slowly roll up. And we'll start to jog on the spot as everyone finishes. So the workout is 6 rounds. There's a pair of exercises that will repeat and then a cardio exercise. So 5 total for each set. The first exercise is a compound exercise. The second is a core. And then the third, like I said, is a cardio. So let's do some high knees. And some butt kickers. For the pair of exercises, we're going to work for 45 seconds, rest for 15. And then for the cardio at the very end, we'll work for a minute. All right, so I'll go over our first exercise with or without a weight. So we're going to do, so I'm going to hold the weight in my right hand and my right leg is going to do a curtsy lunge. So I'm going to do a curtsy lunge. As I come up, I bring my weight to my shoulder for a squat and then a single arm shoulder press and then back down. So curtsy lunge, squat, press. We'll do the whole 45 seconds on one side, and then the second time through, we'll switch sides. Exercise number 2 is our core. You can do this with or without weights. So we're holding a V-sit, and we're adding in tricep presses. So you can do 1, 2, single, double, alternating, whatever you'd like. So we repeat those exercises, and then our cardio exercise is a jump forward, high knees back. If you don't want to do that jump forward, you can do butt kickers forward, high knees back. Okay, so those are our 3 exercises, and we will get started as soon as I get my timer ready. All right, so we'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. So it's a curtsy lunge. We'll bring our weight up for our squat and then press. And we repeat. You could take out any part of this. You could maybe just do the curtsy lunge, just the squat. You can take out the press. And we're going to stay on the same side for the whole 45 seconds. And then we'll have 15 seconds to rest as we transition to our V-sit. 2, 1, and rest. So you can just hold the V-sit, or if you want to add in really, really light weights. So you're holding your V-sit, and then you can do a single, single, double, or maybe you're just using one weight. We're trying to keep our elbows in, and we're trying to go along the same angle as our thighs are. Try to keep your back flat. You don't want to arch or round your back out too much here. Almost there. And rest. And then we're back up for our curtsy lunge on our left side. Three, 2, 1, and go. So curtsy, squat, press. You can keep your weight racked on your shoulder if you'd like for the curtsy lunge, or if you're bringing it down to the ground, you're kind of adding a hammer curl in as well. Check in with your front knee, or sorry, your stationary knee, making sure that in both the squat and the curtsy lunge, your knee is not going over your toe, and your shin is perpendicular to the ground. Almost there. And done. So transition time to the ground. Two, one, and go. So like I said, you can do this with one weights or two. Either way, it's a slow movement. Think about engaging your core. Activating those muscles that you want to be activating. Ten seconds to go. Try to bring your feet up if you can. I have noticed that mine have dropped. And rest. And now it's going to be our cardio. So we're going to do broad jump forward, or butt kickers forward, high knees back. And we're doing this one for a minute. 2, 1, and go. I do about 6 high knees on the way back, but I guess it depends on how far you're jumping and how much space you have. Try to get your arms involved for those jumps. And making sure you're jumping with both feet. Almost there, 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. And now we have a 30-second rest while we get ready for our next one. So we're doing a reverse lunge, stepping back, and then coming up to a lateral raise. We'll spend the whole time on the same side. Exercise 2, just gonna pause the timer, is we're doing a heel tap. I don't know what the actual name of it is. Our shoulders are off the ground, shins are parallel to the ground, and we're just touching our heels down. You can do one or both at a time. So maybe single, single, double, whatever you'd like. And our third exercise, so our cardio exercise, we're gonna do squat, kick, jump. Squat, kick, jump, back and forth. So we'll start in 10 seconds with that reverse lunge to lateral raise. And we're doing the whole side on one leg. So reverse lunge and up to a lateral raise. When we're stepping back, making sure they're on our train tracks. Checking in with your front knee. As you come up for the lateral raise, you can hold for a second at the top. Slightly bent knees. Making sure you're not arching your back. And rest, so we're on the ground. We're doing heel taps here. So our shoulders are off the ground. We'll start in about 7 seconds. Our shins are, go ahead. Our shins are parallel to the ground. Meet with your arms. You can have your arms slightly resting behind your head. You can have them straight up in the air, whatever is comfortable. It's a nice and slow movement. Think about engaging your core. If you feel like you're straining your neck too much, maybe put your hands behind your head just for a little bit of support. right, and then we're back up for lunges on our left leg, reverse lunges. 2, 1, and go. Reverse and raise. When you come to standing, try to make sure your weight is evenly distributed on your feet. We don't want to be a flamingo here. Always a slight bend in our elbows during our lateral raise. We don't want to lock our joints. Two, 1, and on the ground. Grab a drink whenever you need one. So our shoulders are off the ground. So I'm doing one, right, left, both. Left, right, both. Halfway. You can try to even lift. Think about that there being a string attached to your core, your ab muscles that's pulling you up to the ceiling. 2, 1, and so this one is the squat kick with our lateral jump. If you don't want to do the jump, you can just step to the other side. 2, 1, and go. So squat, kick, and jump. I always kind of add in an extra squat when I'm preparing to jump and preparing to land. Try to land softly. Do as I say, not as I do. And like I said, if you want to take out that jump, you can just do a step. Almost there, 10 seconds to go. And so our next set, we are going to do with a weight, if you want, we're going to do a deadlift. As we come up from the deadlift, we bring the weight up to a goblet hold and a squat. And deadlift, goblet squat. That is paired with, we're going to be on our back. You can use weights here or not. Feet are up in the ground, and we're bringing our opposite hand to our opposite toe. Okay. So that's the pair. We'll repeat. And our cardio is jumping jacks or star jumps. So jumping jacks or star jumps. Okay. And we'll start in 9 seconds with our deadlift to goblet squat. 3, 2, 1. Remember when we're doing our deadlift, our back is flat, our knees are bent. Be careful as you move the weight between your different holds. Check in with your knees for your squat, making sure you're not going over your toes. Think about forcing your knees out to the side, not letting them come in. 2, 1. Now we're on the ground for our toe touches. With or without weights, you have a pair of light weights, it just adds a little bit of resistance. And go. So you're going across. So my right hand to my left hand to right foot. If you have a single weight here, you can just be going straight up. And rest. Back to our deadlift. If you have two weights here, you can just rack them on your shoulders for a squat if you'd like. So they're by your side for the deadlift, then on your shoulders for the squat. Always remember that flat back. Keep your neck neutral, so your head should follow your spine, if that makes sense. If you are doing a goblet squat, keep your shoulders away from your ears. 2, 1. So we're back on the ground. For our toe touches. 2, 1, and go. Try to think of the idea that you're pulling your core up, or that your core, is engaging and pulling your body up. Try to keep your legs up as straight as you can. I know, baby. Okay, so next is our jumping jacks or star jumps. We'll start in 3, 2, 1, go. We are doing this for a minute, so pace yourself. Must be getting stronger. I'm almost hitting the ceiling. Almost at the halfway point. It's time for me to change into jumping jacks. "15 seconds left. Three, 2, 1. And rest. All right, our next one, with or without weights, it's going to be a half burpee. So we're going to put our weights down, jump out to a plank, back in, and as we stand up, we're going to do a bench over row. If you don't want to do the row, you can just do the half burpee. Exercise number 2, we're on our back. Our legs are hovering above the ground, and we're doing lateral scissors. So we're here. And the cardio for that is we're going to do jump squat, lunge, jump squat, lunge to the other side. Okay, so we'll start with that half burpee to bench over row in 8 seconds. There you go. So as you stand up with the weights, keep your legs bent, back flat, and row. You don't have to keep your hands on the weights when you jump out. If you want to put them on the floor, that's fine too. When you do the row, think about drawing your weights to your hips as opposed to your shoulders. And rest. So we're going down to the floor for our scissors. Or lateral scissors, I should say. So your legs should be at a point on an angle at which your back can still touch the ground. If you want to bring your shoulders up, your arms can be behind your head, providing support, or straight up in the air. And rest, transition back to our half burpee rows. 3, 2, 1, and go. Don't try to go too fast, especially when it comes to the row. Three, 2, 1, and back on the ground. Two, 1, and go. Keep that lower back pressed into the ground. And then next is our cardio with our jump squat to side lunge. Two, 1, and rest. So start in the middle of whatever space you have, because you're going to be lunging to either side. Figured that this was better than just a minute of jump squats. Jump squat, lunge, jump squat, lunge. When you do the side lunge, sit your hips back. Halfway. If you're not wanting to leave the floor for your jump squat, just come up on your toes. Two, 1, All right, round 5 is a glute bridge with a skull crusher. We've done these lots before, so with single or double weight, hold your glute bridge with a skull crusher. Exercise number 2, we're staying on the ground. If you want to use weights here, you can for a chest fly. We're doing a hollow body, so or a leg hold. Okay, and then if you want, you can add in a chest fly here. Easier said than done. And then our cardio is football shuffles. So, okay, so we're starting in 10 seconds with our glute bridge to skull crusher. 3, 2, 1. Keeping your elbows in, hips up, trying to keep a straight line between your point of contact on the ground and your knees. And breathing out as the weight comes down. 2, 1. So next, you can just hold the hollow body. And if you want to try to add in weights or a chest fly, feel free to. So just start with the hollow body. So our legs are just off the ground. And as if you are doing a chest fly, just go as low as is comfortable. Keeping your lower back pressed on the ground. Two, 1, and rest. And back to our glute bridge. You can use 1 or 2 weights. 2, 1, and go. If you don't want to hold the glute bridge, you can come up and down. Similar to our squat, don't let your knees cave in. Engage your glutes and your hamstrings. Elbows in. Two, 1, rest. Back to our hollow body. Let's start in 3, 2, 1, and go. If you're doing a single arm chest fly, you really engage your obliques here. Try to keep yourself stable. With your chest fly, always keep your arms bent. And our cardio is a football player. In about 5 seconds. Oh, 3, 2, 1. So clear your weights out of the way if you can. And we'll start with our football players. 3, 2, 1, and go. And if you want to move side to side, backward. You want to do some touchdowns or some jumps, whatever helps you pass this minute as fast as possible. Careful of your weights. 15 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, we got one more round. This one, first exercise is a side lunge and reach, bending our knees as we go down. We will switch at the halfway point here. And our core for this one is we are going to start with our knees bent here. We're going to do a crunch, hold the crunch, leg extension, then release. So crunch, extend, in, release. And our cardio is soccer players. So we're doing keep-ups with our imaginary ball. So we'll start with our lunge and reach in 10 seconds. So it's not quite a full side lunge. 2, 1. But we're turning to the side as if we're putting something on the ground and then picking it up and putting it on the shelf. This can be done with 1 or 2 weights. We're going to switch directions now. Making sure we bend our knees when we put that weight on the ground. Two, 1, and on the ground for our crunch and leg extension. So our knees are bent to start. We do a crunch and hold it. Extend our legs back and release the crunch. Your hands are behind your head. They're just for support. All right, last lunge and reach. We are almost done. 3 minutes to go. Maybe you want to start on the opposite side this time. 3, 2, 1, and go. We are kind of rotating our body. So we're almost going up and down on a diagonal. We'll switch in 2 seconds. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. And onto the ground. For our last core exercise. 2, 1, and go. So crunch, extend, in, release. 10 seconds to go. 2, 1, and done. And our last exercise for the day is our 1 minute of soccer players. So we're keeping up our imaginary ball. There you go. You can do this at whatever pace you like. You can go forward, backward, side to side. Try to stay on the ball, on the balls of your feet. Your knees are coming out to the side. We have 15 seconds left, so try to pick up the pace if you can. Two, 1, and done. So it's 7:43. If you can stick around for a cool down, we'll start on the ground. We'll start in our child pose. So hips back, palms forward. You can rest your head on the ground here, getting your breathing back to normal. And we'll walk to the left side. Your right hand on top of your left. You can look underneath your left armpit. Or maybe you don't want to. And back to the center. And over to the right side. So left hand over right. You can look under your right armpit. And back to center. We'll come into a tabletop and do a couple cat-cows. Following your breath. So breathe out, look down and round. Breathe in, look up and arch. Don't arch too much that it hurts. And we'll curl our toes under and push back into downward dog. And we'll pedal out our feet here, stretching out our calves. We'll float our right leg up in the air and we'll circle it through for our pigeon. Lean forward to whatever's comfortable for you. Maybe your forearms, stack your fists. 1 fist, 2 fists, we're on the ground. And push back to your palms. Curl your toe back to downward dog. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So float your left leg up in the air and circle it through to our pigeon. And lean forward to whatever is comfortable for you. And then press your palms. Just come up into a tabletop here. We'll take our left hand, reach it up to the sky, and then slide it underneath our right. Stretch out our shoulders. And back to tabletop, same thing with our other arm. And back to tabletop. Curl your toes under and walk your hands up. Slowly come up. When we're standing, grab one foot for our quad stretch. And then take that same leg, cross it over your standing leg, and sit down for a glute stretch. Grab onto a wall or a chair if you need to. And then we'll repeat on the other side. Keep your standing leg slightly bent. And now cross your leg, your ankle over your standing knee. And come on up and we're done. Have a wonderful day, everybody. See you on Friday.